Oh, and just take a seat. I'll be with you just now. Just taking care of some things. You get it alright? You get here alright? Yeah? Good, good, good. Nice. Yeah, the road here is a bit tricky. Sometimes you'll get lost, go to the other building, and then it gets very awkward. You know, signing up for the assassin position, and then you're like, what? Yeah, yeah, man. Always make sure that, yeah, you just get that right. Be very awkward. Sure, like some other building, there's some accounting firm or like whatever, logistics, and then you're talking about how you want to be an assassin, and then everyone's confused. Anyway, it should be done there. Okay, so how are you doing? Yeah, so I saw your application, and I was very interested. At this agency, we really want the best, and it's hard to just get an interview, let alone the actual job. So you should be proud of yourself for even being here. It means that we see something very important, and we want to work with you, but you just need to make sure that you're a right fit. But getting here alone is quite an achievement. So just give me your name again, just to confirm. Date of birth, height, weight, what styles of combat are you disciplined in? Okay, so, oh, wow. Okay, got a black belt. Nice. And how long did you train in that? That's good, that's good. Okay. That's a lot of weapons. You can use all of them? We will be putting that to the test, by the way. But, you know, we do have, yeah, you sent us a highlight reel, which is very helpful. Not everyone has the presence of mind to record their assassinations. We will ask, though, when you're with us. You know, we don't like to have too much evidence lying around, so maybe don't record too much on the job, but unless asked to do so. Yeah, you just, you know, things can go left, and if you have yourself on camera committing a crime, you know. Nice. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I've seen your work. I think you're very skilled. I think you're very efficient, which I like. You do things quickly, usually clean. You know, at this agency, the clients we work with, they value efficiency, they value speed, and they value someone who can keep things discreet. We never want things tying back to the client. So for the most part, it seems you've had a very clean record, very quick, clean kills, which we appreciate. There was the one incident with the private chef. Yes, you were hired to assassinate a chef. It's my understanding that chef had slept with the client's wife, and the husband wanted the chef whacked. Yes? So you embedded yourself there as one of the cooks in the kitchen, and you... Okay. So you intentionally established a hostile relationship with the chef, okay? Okay, and then things escalated and you beat him to death with a frying pan during a break when no one else was there, and then you fled the scene. You see, very messy, very messy. I like that you created a scenario in which it made sense for you to do that, so that the blame entirely falls on you and no one is suspecting a hit. That being said, while it was early on in your career, you're still getting your feet wet. Very, very messy, and it's just something I had to address because, we don't do things that way here. Here, we avoid any scenario that draws attention. So, yeah, killing someone with a frying pan, blood everywhere, it's DNA, or we try to avoid that. Yeah. But like I said, it's early on in your career, you're still learning. It's very rare to see it in long careers, especially like just a flawless record. There's a lot of variables you can't account for in the assassination business. Someone can walk in when you least expect it. Someone can change their mind, come back home. There can be all sorts of things that just go wrong. Bad weather, a door is not working, even though you were told that door would work. All these sort of things. Like there's just so many things you can't account for. And yeah. So we're reasonable here. But it's just important to highlight these things just so we're on the same page. We just want to make sure that you know that we're going to require going forward very clean kills. Yeah, things like, so tell me how would you have killed him now? Looking back, what would you have done differently? I like where you're going. So you would have tampered with some of his food. He tastes a lot of the food a lot, so you would have. Okay. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Because if it's poison, it's gonna raise questions. So, so you want him to choke on something. Yeah, there's many ways to skin a cat, but I like where your head is at. If you can get him to choke on something, and then just when everyone comes back, like, oh my god, what happened? He choked. It's just plausible, accidents happen all the time. He had allergies. Okay, what kind of allergies did he have? He had a nut allergy. It's very inconvenient for a chef. But I can see how something could go wrong, especially if he's cooking for. Oh, so the client did frequently have food with nuts in it. Why did you never think about that? You were young? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that it just seems like low-hanging fruit, He's also very careful about that. So, okay, so you didn't want to make it too obvious. I get it. But, that's kind of your job as an assassin, is to create the conditions. It's your job to convince people that what they witnessed makes complete total sense and that there was no sort of tampering, no foul play, none of that. That's the true mark of a professional, and those are the type of people we want to work with, and that's what makes us so proud as an agency as we lead. For the many years we've been doing this, we've never had any of our clients implicated. None of it ever gets back to them. They know that they can call us to handle something, and it's gonna get handled. They don't have to ever lose sleep over wondering if they're gonna get caught or anything like that. Which brings me to my next point is, are you willing to go to jail for your client and never say a word? This is important because, like I said, an essential part of our business and why we're so successful, things never get back to the client. It's never happened in the history of our company. It will never happen. So we need to know that you're willing to die for the sake of the client. It's that serious, yes, yeah. You know what you're signing up for? That's a great answer. Yes, yeah. It's so important. It's so important. You gotta be willing to risk it all. It's not a regular job. It's like if it all falls, it falls on you. We're not implicated. The client's not implicated. We'll try our best to get you out of any sticky situation. But if we see that it's just going to get messier and messier and messier, you're on your own. You're okay with suicide pills? Yeah, I think it's the best way to just handle things because we don't want people getting interrogated, getting tortured, all these sort of things. So if you find yourself in an extremely compromised position where maybe you're falling into the hands of some very dangerous people, very dangerous people, we have some pills you can take that end things painlessly, quickly. You don't have to go through all that. It's a way out. Yeah. In the event that you do get captured and maybe you're in prison or maybe you're in the hands of an enemy, we can't trust you to honor your words. So in that sense, because when you're getting tortured, people say all sorts of things when they're in pain, or sometimes they hit you with the truth serum, all these sort of things. We do have training to overcome that. It's just important for me to let you know that we have assassins that take care of our assassins. Yeah, it's just an insurance policy. We're just for full transparency. If you decide to go, we do have someone to take care of you. A caretaker for the caretakers, if you will. It's just an insurance policy, but you'll never meet these people. You'll never see them. You don't know who they are. But it's just important for you to know that they are there and they are watching you constantly. And it's for our client. Everything is for the client. For the sake of the client. Best believe these are the elites of the elites. To become an assassin's assassin, it's otherworldly levels of skill, and 0.0001% of people can ever reach such heights. So maybe you can become an assassin's assassin one day, but it's a tall order. I will say it's not easy to get to that point. But we do like to let people know that benchmark exists. You can get there through a lot of hard work, and the pay is very, very lucrative. Even when you're just on retainer, even when you're just not doing much, because we rarely have incidents where we have to do that kind of stuff, but it's happened. It actually happened. I'm thinking about an incident about a year ago. We had gotten one of our assassins to take out a very, very prominent athlete. Yeah, very high profile event, and people were very angry. So they eventually managed to get a hold of the guy, they eventually managed to capture him, and there was a public trial. It was very messy. He was going to talk. It was very obvious he was going to talk, but before he could take the stand, he had a very mysterious heart attack. Died in his cell. No one could ever figure out what happened to him, but You know, it's like these are the type of individuals we're dealing with here. It doesn't matter where you are. There's no place you can go. They will not get you. They will get you somehow, some way. These are highly, highly trained individuals. The elite of the elites. And yeah. You can apply to be an assassin's assassin 5 years into your career here. Again, it's very hard to get into, and we don't just get anyone. We don't allow anyone to do it because obviously you're very skilled. You're a very dangerous individual. So you'd imagine the sort of person required to take care of you has to be, yeah, just otherworldly. So we don't let anyone do it. We really take time to assess your capabilities. But I will be honest, just looking at your previous work, and we're gonna get into, like, we're gonna train with you and just make sure you're good for it. But just looking at what you're capable of, I think give it a shot. But there's some holes in your game, but with enough refinement and luck, hey, I think you have a good shot of becoming an assassin's assassin in the next 5 years. For sure. It is wonderful pay, by the way. Wonderful. Okay, you need to know that you're adaptable to certain situations. We've had situations in the past where a client, they have a change of heart. They don't want to kill the person anymore. You're already in the middle of a mission. You need to know that you can turn around, because some guys get very fixated once they smell blood, once they have done all that work, months and months or weeks, depending on the timeline. They get really fixated on the target and they can't let the target go. You need to know that you can let it go if need be. It happens more often than you think. People just change their mind, and we're just like, yeah, we do have cancellation fees and all that, but we respect our clients, and we get it. Killing someone can be a bit much, even ordering someone to be killed. So you don't get too attached to targets. Okay, good. So it's just a job for you. You're not, yeah, there are a lot of weird guys out there. They can't let go. It's just I think it's just a time thing, and like you've poured so much into this person, learning about them, learning about their movements, their personal life, everything, and it's just you're so invested in completing this story because you've built up this story in your head, you've envisioned yourself committing this act, and then someone just calls and says, never mind, it can be a bit much. Have you ever had that happen? Like someone just cancels on you? Quite a few times. Yeah, it's normal in this business. People get cold feet all the time. And how did you deal with that? How did you feel? Yeah, it can be annoying content. Yeah, I imagine it's annoying, but it's also yeah, that's a good point. It does. Depending on the job, can be a relief sometimes. If you had to take out some person who, they seem like a nice enough individual. Can be. Do you have any boundaries? So we have rules. We have rules there. It's just you don't do kids. It's just we try to stay away from that. And like grandmas, kids and grandmas, we tend to. It depends on the grandma, but like some sweet grandma that didn't do anything wrong. And this is more so the boss's position. The boss doesn't like to kill grandma. I think it's like a personal thing as well for the boss. So we just need to know that you have restraint. Yeah, you don't like whacking kids either, right? Yeah, I think it's important that we're aligned in our values. I've found that our clients want to know that we have boundaries as well. The type of clients that we deal with. It's a lot of the time it's normal people that are just super frustrated with someone and they want them gone. We rarely come across like super maniacs, like psychos. They're there, don't get me wrong. We've definitely had our fair share of absolute psychopaths. But a lot of the time it's like, hey man, my wife cheated on me, she gotta go, like, I got this business partner who's trying to stiff me, he's gotta go, like, I lost a bet to this person and they're being very annoying about it, he's gotta go, like, the stuff like that, like, just normal disputes, and we understand. That's what we're here for. We're here to help with that. We're here but you want to whack kids and whack grandmas. That's when you're like. But everything else is open season. Like no one else is safe. So we also need to know that you're not squeamish. That you're not going to get too emotional. Can you turn it off when we need you to turn it off? Like all the feelings, emotions, all that sort of stuff. Or would you say you're good at just going into assassin mode and getting the job done once those particular considerations have been made? Do you have any sort of examples you can give of that? Okay, so you're on a mission and okay, so there's a very cute dog that was making a lot of noise. It was gonna compromise the mission, so what did you do? Oh wow, you strangled it. Yeah, it's necessary sometimes, Yeah, sometimes you have to strangle a dog. Now, it does leave, questions, but like I said, things happen. Sometimes there's a pet that you are unaware of, and there's all sorts of things that you should do due diligence, though. Like, but yeah, I get it. I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen everything. But it is nice to know that you're willing to strangle a puppy if need be. It's necessary in this line of work. Sometimes you have to strangle a puppy, man. Making too much noise. It's a liability. But going forward, find cleaner ways to do that. You have to be able to think on the go about how to keep the kill as clean as possible. When a puppy is strangled, it's going to be obvious that someone was there that should not have been there. Yeah. I might have to note that as well, but I don't think the boss will mind, because like I said, things happen, but you do have to get better at that. I think even in the most random circumstances, you have to display the level of intellect, the level of creativity that will allow you to turn even a surprise scenario to your advantage, so that if you have to kill someone unexpectedly, even that looks like it was an accident. But we have training for that. We're going to put you through a lot of rigorous training so that you're just good at managing surprises, good at managing crisis. Yeah, because that's our whole MO. We're in, we're out, and no one knows it was us. It's just best for the client, But like I said, I like that you can strangle a puppy if you need to strangle a puppy. I think most people, they don't have it in them, man. You see a cute little puppy, woof, 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 and your heart just melts. So, shut up. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, just give me one more example of you being able to just handle surprises or like not be too emotional about an issue. Okay, so okay, so this guy was having an affair, okay, and you'd spent time getting to know him and his mistress. So the woman had hired you to kill him. But you just, okay. She was a nice lady, this mistress, and oh, so she had dreams. Okay, she wanted to be a painter, and they were talking about how they were gonna move to Italy, all this romantic stuff. I see. You actually seen her painting. She was really good at it. Okay. So you didn't want to do it, but yeah, it's tough. So how did you take care of her? Okay. She ate a lot of bananas. So you just left a banana peel by the stairs one day and she slipped and fell to her. Okay, she cracked her neck. Yeah, it happens. People slip on bananas, Hey. She ate a lot of bananas. Did he suspect anything? Oh no, he's dead. Because you did your job. That was just like, she was just a side mission. But you had to take care of her because she was with him constantly, and I see. Yeah, it was getting very difficult. Oh, and you were getting the sense that she was like, yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Some people have a really like keen sense for these things. Yeah, like some people just have a great sense of awareness and they can tell when death is near, and they get very weird and very paranoid, and those situations are very difficult to deal with because the openings start closing and it becomes very difficult. So I think that was the right call to be like, I need to take her out because she's too sensitive and she might ruin the whole operation. Yeah, I think that was a great instinct. I will note that you do seem to have good instincts when it comes to these sort of things. Because other professionals, they might be hesitant to do stuff like that. It just seems unnecessary. They might think it's just excessive, or they might make emotional considerations. Like, oh, she doesn't deserve to die. She's got this dream. She's young. She's pretty. Like, I don't want to be that. Like all these sort of considerations. But you had the presence of mind to tell that I need to do my job, and she's in the way. She has to go. That's good. That's really the type of people we're looking for. So I'm gonna note that in your file. That's a plus on your side. Okay, I think we have enough information. I think this has been a very productive interview. Yeah, no, we're gonna stay in touch. Like I said, getting here. Well, once you're here, I think it's a pretty good sign that we're paying close attention to you, and you have a good chance of working with us. The chef incident and the puppy incident, we're gonna have to take that into account. But like I said, accidents happen all the time. Trust me. I like how you handled the situation with the young woman, with the banana peel, all that sort of stuff. So it shows that your head's in the right place, and we like how much control you have over your emotions. So that's also gonna, and your combat experience is crazy. Like I said, we're gonna put you to a test, but I've seen your work, so I'm confident that you can back it up. And you really like swords. I think your skill with swords is it's gonna open up a lot of doors for you as well. Because we do have a lot of work that sometimes requires that. But that's we'll get into that. But that's more specialist work, because there are scenarios where, yeah, we'll get into it. But that's a very good skill to have. Your mastery of poisons as well puts you in a very elite class amongst our professionals. Yeah, poison, being able to use poison is very, very important in this line of work. But you'd be surprised, man. Some people, they just, you know, they have limits, and they don't really put in the necessary work, and you have to learn so much chemistry and all these things. So yeah, chemistry, plant life, biology, all that sort of stuff. They're not, people aren't willing to really put in the work for that. So I think the fact that you have puts you in an advantage over many others. You just have a lot working for you is what I'm trying to get at here. And yeah, I think you have a good shot, if I'm just being honest. Like, it's ultimately up to the boss. The boss will look at it and decide if you're a good fit for our agency. But I'll give you a call. I'll give you a call and let you know. Yeah, no problem, no problem. You'll hear from me very soon. So, thanks. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll give you a call. Don't worry.